I set myself the challenge to watch every single episode of Doctor Who ever made, from 1963 right up until the modern era. And things just got complicated. In 1989, Doctor Who was put on indefinite hiatus, basically tantamount to being cancelled. And it would be 16 years until the revival came along and gave us regular episodes again. But that's not to say that there was no Doctor Who during that time. In fact, there was tons. From novels to audio dramas to fan-made shows and movies, to official webcasts and feature films, most of which featured the Doctor standing like this at some point. For the sake of not making this 4 hours long, I've decided to limit myself to BBC-produced stories in the televisual medium. But let me know if you'd like me to delve into the fan-made content or the Big Finish audios at some point. That could be a future video. I'm also going to be noting the canon status of the stories that we're dealing with today, just to let you know whether or not they still count in Doctor Who. For now, we are this far through the show in total, and this is what fans call the wilderness years. When you think of John Nathan Turner's contributions to Doctor Who history, you probably think of his one on-screen writing credit, Dimensions in Time. This 30th anniversary special sees the Doctor facing off against the Rani in and around Albert Square, with various EastEnders characters joining in on the fun. The Rani is trying to capture all of the Doctor's incarnations in a time tunnel, and as such, the Doctor keeps shifting back and forth between his lives, except for the first and second Doctors, who are already made of plasticine. This makes some sense if you squint. What doesn't make as much sense is how the Doctor's companions keep shifting back and forth as well, swapping between being Ace, Mel, Nyssa and Perry, Leela, Romana, etc., while also retaining memories of what they were doing as the other companion, which at least explains why none of them seem to freak out about this. Except Susan. Canon status of Dimensions in Time is maybe canon in a really weird way. So the events of the story themselves almost certainly didn't happen the way we see them, but some sources have suggested that the whole special is a nightmare that the Doctor had at some point. Just to be safe, let's say not canon. The Seventh Doctor has been given a simple mission: return the Master's remains to Gallifrey, because it seems the Master has finally died. Yay! But he alives again. Oh no! And so with the TARDIS being forced to land in San Francisco, the Doctor is killed. Oh no! But he alives again. Yay! But now he's half human. Huh? But he gets a girlfriend. Yay! Then the girlfriend dies. Oh no! But she alives again. Yay! Then Chang Li dies. Who? But Chang Li alives again. Okay. Then the Master dies again. Yay! Probably. Canon status of the TV movie The Enemy Within is canon. But with the asterisk that all of the new characters like Grace or Chang Li are owned by Universal, so we're unlikely to see them again. Doctor Who and the Curse of Fatal Death was a 20-minute comedy sketch for Red Nose Day in 1999, which saw the Ninth Doctor, portrayed by Rowan Atkinson, seeking to settle down with his companion Emma. Over the course of the sketch, the Doctor is killed and regenerates several times through Richard E. Grant, Jim Broadbent, Hugh Grant, and Joanna Lumley. The sketch is written for comedy, so includes a load of ludicrous elements completely out of the tone and canon of the show. Things like the Doctor refusing to answer difficult questions, just saying, "I'll explain later." The Doctor falling in love with his companion, the 13th Doctor turning out to be a blonde woman, the Master choosing to stand with the Doctor, you know, stuff they would never actually do in the show. Who wrote this? Canon status of The Curse of Fatal Death is non-canon. Pretty much definitively. Death Comes to Time was an animated webcast originally intended to be the end of Doctor Who entirely. This story ignores the TV movie and picks up again with the Seventh Doctor as he faces off against General Tanis, a vicious warlord who seeks to conquer the universe. In contrast to what we've seen so far, Time Lords in this story are shown not just to be really advanced aliens, but something more akin to literal gods who can use phenomenal powers at the risk of damaging reality. It turns out that Tanis himself is an exiled Time Lord who's plotting to kill all the other Time Lords so that he can use his powers freely to conquer the universe. Tanis is defeated when the Doctor finally uses his own Time Lord powers and is forced to sacrifice himself in the process. His legacy is safe, however, as while this was all going on, Ace was off learning to become a Time Lord herself, which is a pretty good ending for her. She gets godlike powers and all she had to do was live through Ghostlight. Canon status of death comes to time? Not canon. The Doctor dies at the end, there's pretty much no way it can be canon. Working our way backwards through the incarnations now, we're back to the 6th Doctor, who is now wearing a bright blue suit, thanks in part to the limitations of early 2000 webcasts, and in part because literally everyone agreed the rainbow coat looked dumb. If you've not delved into any of the 6th Doctor's Big Finish catalogue, you'd probably watch this thinking to yourself, her he looks different. But this is actually Evelyn Smythe, the first Big Finish exclusive companion, and she's about to be turned into the leader of a Cyberman invasion. You see, Chang Li, or Goddard as he's called in this, comes from a branching timeline where Cybermen from the future have taken over Earth and ruled it for years. He plans to use a virus to destroy the Cybermen before they can go back in time and take over. However, the Cybermen get a hold of the virus and repurpose it to turn Evelyn into a cyber leader. Not realizing this, the Doctor defeats the Cybermen and then decides to take Evelyn back in time to the 1920s, just as she's starting to show signs of transforming, thereby creating a stable time loop where the virus creates the world that creates the virus. This cliffhanger ending would have led into a sequel story, but sadly didn't because Evelyn's actress passed away a mere 12 years after this was made. 12 years? 12 years? How do you manage to not make a sequel to your cliffhanger in 12 years? I did an admittedly rough count, but by my estimate, Big Finish made about 450 stories in that time, at least 16 of which feature Evelyn. Canon status of real time? I don't think it's even canon to Big Finish anymore. The 8th Doctor and Romana visit Professor Chronotis, a Time Lord friend of the Doctor who has retired and is living as a professor at St. Sed's College. We've done this. What? Hey. Sorry to barge in. I'm the McGurk from the season 17 video. We've already done this. Remember Professor Chronotis, Skagra, the prison planet Shada? We covered this whole story. Right. Yes, we did. But that version of the story is no longer canon. You see, during the 5 Doctors, Barusa pulled the 4th Doctor out of time at the beginning of that story, and then when they got put back, they forgot about going to St. Sed's. So the 4th Doctor version is now no longer canon, and the canon version of Shada is an 8th Doctor webcast, which comes with a little animatic where all of the characters from the story dance along to Can't Get You Out of My Head by Kylie Minogue. I don't believe you. I've seen it, but I still don't believe you. Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm the McGurk from the Series 4 Revival video. I haven't even filmed that one yet. Yeah, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. It's all the rage in the Revival. I just wanted to let you know that the animatic with Kylie Minogue in it gets even funnier when you get to the Series 4 Christmas episode. Hey, sorry to barge in. Is this an anniversary special? I'm the McGurk from the Series 14 video, or Season 1, or Season 40. I don't really know what we're calling it yet. I just wanted to let you know that the Kylie Minogue thing was funny during the Wilderness eras, and it got funnier during Tennant's era, and it's really reaching its peak here now. Seriously, Kylie and Doctor Who is the gift that keeps on giving. Fine. Can we at least agree that the 2003 webcast is the only version of Shada that's canon? Look at you thinking Doctor Who has a canon. Can't remember ever being that naive. Also released in 2003 is Scream of the Shalka, billed as an official continuation of Doctor Who, starring Richard E. Grant as the Ninth Doctor. Not to be confused with Richard E. Grant as the 10th Doctor, or Christopher Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor, or Rowan Atkinson as the Ninth Doctor, or hang on, I've got a chart somewhere. Scream of the Shalka sees a few firsts for Doctor Who, as the Doctor takes on a black companion for the first time, as well as also having an android companion version of the Master living in the TARDIS. Why? How? It also dares to ask the hard questions, like how long can we keep abusing our planet and our climate before subterranean aliens show up to scream at us until the sky catches fire? Unfortunately, due to miscommunication between branches of the BBC, plans to continue this version of the Ninth Doctor were cancelled before the serial even aired, as Christopher Eccleston was announced as the official Ninth Doctor, making Scream of the Shalka definitively non-canon. Hey, sorry to barge in,